Hello, family. This is Coach Lacresha again. Um, this is video day, so um, I don't know which one of these are gonna come first. You guys will know when you see them. But this video is gonna be interesting, okay, guys? Because you know, no filters. I don't know. We're gonna pray about it, okay? But if you guys will hang with me for about the next 10 minutes, we're going to discuss something that needs to be discussed, guys, okay? Let me just start it off by just saying flat out, every hoe is not lost and every housewife is not happy, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get into the meat of this. This here is not necessarily a question that I've received. It's more or less dealing with some situations that I've had to deal with some of my clients, and even my past, how my past was, it resonates with a lot of what I'm going to say in this video. First of all, let me start by saying, just flat out saying, that when it comes to particularly Western society, I've never been a part of Eastern society. I've never been to any other country to live or anything like that. I've met people from other countries and I talk to them all the time. But I don't have the experience of being raised up in any other society other than this one, right? So when it concerns Western society, I feel that I can speak on that. In this society, we tend to be very judgmental. Now, even people who have not been to church, who have never read the Bible is ingrained in this society quite deeply. And so you're not going to meet people who don't have some kind of biblical morality inside them, though they may not have ever been to church or have a family that was church-going family. It's just that even our laws are based upon some of them, many of them, upon biblical understanding, okay? So when it comes to morality, we weigh our morality based upon how we're trained, and most of our training is based upon the Bible. So with that in mind, there's a tendency in Western society to teach that women should be married. Women, like the highest thing you could be is a wife, or, the most beautiful thing you can do is have children. But to really have children and have a happy family, you need to be a wife, So the best way to get on top or ahead in life is to get married. And, your happiness is just so important. And the best way to be happy is to be married. I mean, married. It's almost like programmed in. It's amazing how it's everywhere. If you think about it, you almost start feeling like a failure if you're not a wife. And I'm married. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I really, truly was created to be a wife, okay? My real personal truth is wifehood, right? But that's not everybody's personal truth. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of support for women who don't want to be married, or for men who don't want to be married. Now, men have generally been able to kind of get away with not being married, because it's just a lot of men who never do it. And it's just always been that way. But for women, it's like, what? You're 40 and not married? Well, you're 30, not married. You're 40, not married. You're 50, never been married? Like, what the heck? What's wrong with you? Oh, you're a lesbian, huh? You got to be a lesbian because you ain't engaged. You ain't never been married. No kids? Like, where you come from, right? Okay, so I know you guys have heard all this, and I'm saying it all with a smile on my face and everything, but it's really a serious matter, because the fact of the matter is that kind of stuff is infectious. And so what starts to happen is we begin to measure ourselves based upon this bar. And this bar tells us that you need to be married by this time, you should have kids by this time, you should have your finances together by this time. All of these things, all these milestones that you need to hit is based upon you making a wise decision and getting you a husband. And because of that, people have jumped into many situations that it would have been better for them not to get into. Now, God forbid if you are a female minister, okay, or just a saved woman, because now you're sitting in church hearing about how if you're fornicating, you're going to hell. If you're shacking, you're going to hell. If you're doing anything, if you're thinking about it, you're on your way to hell. And amazingly, you hear this from people who did all of that stuff and they didn't go to hell. They amazingly are still here to tell us about if how we do it, we're going to hell though. So, and I laugh because all of it's freaking ridiculous. And I've been guilty of it. Oh my God, I've been guilty. In fact, I actually got married because I was in a relationship with this guy and I loved him. And I loved having sex with him. And I didn't want to stop having sex with him. Definitely didn't want to break up. Didn't want to marry him though. You know, it's like I knew that that was just not a marrying type. You know, it's just kind of like, well, you know, you're a good guy and I love you and I love being with you, but I just know you're not my husband, and me and you trying to be married, that just won't work. But I don't want to stop screwing you and I don't want to quit preaching, so I kind of have to marry you, right? And we have to make those kind of crazy decisions, which it was a mistake. And to a degree, but I do love him. I still love him to this day. I don't regret being married, because if I hadn't went through that situation, then I couldn't make a video like I'm making right now. Getting into the meat of this, I want to explain something to you guys, right? And I just want you to follow me, because it's going to seem like I'm jumping, but I promise you I'm going to tie it all together at the end of it, and I'm going to try to keep it under 15 minutes. So, if Sally and Sue are dating, they're shacked up. Shacked up means living together, not married. They're shacking. They're sleeping together. They're having kids. They're paying bills together. They're doing all of this stuff and everything. And but she's hearing about how they're sin. Okay. Then you got this couple here. They're married. They're doing everything the right way and blah 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 blah. But you know, maybe she or he sometimes get mad or upset with the other one, and then they don't want to have sex, so they hear about how that's a sin. It's like, you know, you can't deny your body from your spouse, because, you know, God said you can't do that. So then you got a couple over here, you know, well, not even a couple, just two single people who occasionally get together, they have sex, they go about their way. They go back to work, they go do whatever, and then occasionally there's a booty call to come through. And see, even that we call it a booty call, even the language that we use is amazingly limiting, derogatory, and self-deprecating. Okay, so the booty call comes through, and they hook up, you know, once a month, once every week, once every 2 weeks, however often they hook up, and they go on about their way. So you got 3 different situations, and all of them can find sin in their situations. Why? Because sin is in every situation. Do not run to the altar to avoid sin, because that's not going to help you. That is not going to help you. Making vows is something you do because that honors who you are. If you are a wife and you just don't have a husband in your house, in your life, then by all means, you know, open yourself up to have that husband and be that wife to this man. Every woman is not created to be a housewife, and every woman out there pretending to be a housewife and pretending to be happy about it is not happy about it, because what she really want to do is go out there, go to New York and pursue this modeling career, pursue this singing career, pursue this interior design. She wants to be on Broadway. She wants to be this career woman. She don't want no kids, no husband, and she look at her life and it's like, I'm cooking again, you know, and we look at it on Facebook and we see the picture of the food and the husband and the house is clean. It's like, oh my gosh, she looks so happy. And on the inside, when she's taking a shower, she doesn't know if that's water from the shower on her face or it's just all the misery of a broken heart, because she chose to follow status quo, which is not her highest truth. We got to stop pushing our truths off on other people. The only people who push their truth off on other people are people who ain't really truly living their own truth. So what they're doing is they're claiming it to be their truth, like, this is my truth and you got to live it. I am a wife. I know everybody is not, you know, but I'm not just a wife. I'm also a career woman, and I got to have them both. So I cannot have a husband who forces me to choose whether I want to be this business mogul or be his wife. I'm going to be both. And if you make me choose, I won't choose you, because I'm never going to leave my business because that's in me. Okay. But I can leave you. So when I have to choose between me and anybody, they are gone. And that has caused me to be called cold-hearted, heartless, can't feel nothing. I mean, the things people say about me, especially at home, guys, I get all kind of derogatory things said about me. And it's only because at the end of the day, I have to stay true to what's really real in my heart. And if everybody turns against me for it, then I'm committed still to being true to myself. And I say all of this to say this, guys. We always trying to save the hoe, save the stripper. Oh, I know you're not happy, blah, 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 blah. She might like having 7 different varieties of penises. She might like being a stripper. She might like the attention. She might really, truly, truly, truly want to be a porn star. Who are we to judge it? When, if we're talking about sin, we're talking about sin now. If we're talking about sin, that no matter where we fall on this spectrum, there is sin there waiting for us. I want to make a suggestion in this video, one that's not going to be popular. And I am a licensed and ordained minister. I still keep my licensing up, even though I'm a coach also, because that's important to me. I worked hard for it, and I never intend to lose it. However, this is my suggestion. I suggest you forget about what you've been taught. Forget about what they say the Bible say or what they say God will never be pleased with. Because some of you have seen, and if you hadn't, go through my YouTube channel and look at some of my videos about the Bible, about religion, about spirituality. Yes, we have a creator, and yes, morality is real. But also, you are not gonna be pleasing to him, even if you decide that I'm gonna go and live what I believe to be right against what I feel is my real truth, and be miserable about it. That's not the path. That is never the path. So I suggest that you guys spend some time by yourself to discover what it is that makes you happy. What is it that rings in your soul when everything else is silent? What is it that you truly want in life? Do you really want to raise kids? Do you really want to go through a pregnancy? Do you really want to walk down the aisle? Do you really want to be dealing with a man every day for the rest of your life? Even when it concerns marriage. Like, it's some people that we do want to marry, but it's like I really would love to be married to you for a while. Now, some of you are like, what the heck? Marriage should even be forever or not at all. That's what you say. That's what maybe I actually kind of feel like it should be too. Now, that's the truth. I feel that way. But why should we press that off on anybody else? Now, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, she's with this, let everybody do what they want to do. No, I'm not with that. However, I am with the fact that everybody is going to do what everybody want to do anyway. So why keep doing a bunch of stuff that's making you miserable, and then you making everybody else miserable too? So if everybody's going to do what everybody wants to do, why don't we discover what we really want to do? In other words, I believe that if all of you guys that's watching this would sit down with yourself and begin to ask yourself the hard questions to discover your highest truth and your highest purpose, and what really, really makes you feel the best you've ever felt, what sets your soul on fire, what really, really gets your blood pumping, I believe that you're going to discover that morality is already in you. Most of the time, we're immoral because we're dishonest. Having a husband or not, or having a wife or not, is not an issue of morality. That's a choice. How to maintain your singleness and how to maintain your marriage takes sacrifice, regardless of which way, however that pendulum swing is swinging, baby. So sacrifice is on either side of any fence that you choose. If I don't do nothing, there's a sacrifice to it. If I do something, there's a sacrifice to it. Whatever I do, as long as I'm taking in a breath, there's a sacrifice to it. I'm going to have to make some choices because I can't have everything, okay, that I want. But if you get in touch and in tune with your highest self, when you honor your God particle that's inside of you, when you're in touch with that and you're led by that, You don't need nobody telling you whether you should or shouldn't sleep with him, should or shouldn't sleep with her, should or shouldn't do this, should or shouldn't go here. Because it's already in you. And in rebuilding that relationship, you learn to trust yourself. You find joy, you find happiness, and loneliness will not be a real thing for you. Loneliness is a real thing for people who have not yet touched their divinity within. Bad relationships happen because we don't have a freaking clue who we are. We just out there, a body with a head, but no compass. And I mean, without a compass, I mean, you can go anywhere. I can go anywhere, but that anywhere mean I might be going in one big circle or one very small circle, you know? So we need direction, and that direction comes from knowing who we are. I can't define myself based upon what the Bible says. It's a book. I can't define myself based upon what the Quran says, what a Bible says, what a priest says, what a pastor say, what my mama said, what my daddy said. If I don't find it in me, between me and the divine source of all life, then I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. You know how many doctors are doctors because they was bred to be doctors, bred like a horse, bred to be a doctor, but they hate practicing medicine. How many attorneys there are attorneys because they was bred to be that? How many actors and actresses are actors and actresses because they was bred to be that? A lot of us are what we were bred to be. And we don't understand these wild folks that's everything. You know, one day she's a veterinarian, the next day she humanitarian, and the next day she's a stripper, and the next dang day she's doing what? You mean what? You know? It's like this girl is everywhere. Who is she? Why do you care? Let her define her life and live her truth how she wants to. And you get busy living yours. I'm going to tell you something. There is not a thing in the world more powerful than a person who has touched their God particle and lives by it. Then you are empowered to affect change just by how you live and the decisions you make. The words you say are powerful, and they can be hello. Okay? When you don't know you, you can have a whole soliloquy. You can come down with a whole Shakespearean play, and it can be the best, most powerful words a person has ever heard. And when they finish hearing it, it's like, wow, that was powerful. And it affected no change because you don't have power. Your words sounded powerful, but there is no real power in them because you are not connected to your divinity, your divine self. Every hoe don't need to be saved. And I use that term because it's a term we use. Such a derogatory, deprecating term. And every housewife ain't happy. So then I suggest you discover your truth and get busy living it. Thank you guys for listening. We almost at 20 minutes. I be trying, y'all. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Be sure to share, guys. And if you have any further questions, relationships, metaphysical, spiritual, or whatever, just let me know. I'm always here. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you guys for being with me here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We just hanging, guys. We hanging. Y'all are my family. So if you guys need something, be sure to hit me up. I'm here for you. Go have a very blessed day.